What better company selling Silicon Valley to work with when you're in Silicon Valley? My name is Edie Malone, and this house came on the market. Hans sent me the information, and at first, I wasn't all that interested, but then once I learned the commute, the options that I have with changing the house up a little bit, and then the enormous backyard, I was sold. The problem that I encountered that I needed to solve with this house was just realizing that I had some room to work with an architect, change things around, and add out on the back of the house to make it big enough. And I have just enormous possibilities with the size of that backyard. The fears that I had was just kind of learning the market first and knowing what I had to do to get a house. Once I worked with Hans enough and was able to see what I had to deal with, it kind of flushed out my fears. I chose to work with selling Silicon Valley because I had to get into it and work with Hans a little bit. And after working with him, I had a rapport that it made it very simple and easy, and he took time to get to know what I wanted and made it work. I chose to work with selling Silicon Valley just because Hans kept engaged and I was all bugging him, and it just worked out and I didn't have to go anywhere else. I think my favorite part of working with SSV was Hans's responsiveness. I did bid on some houses that I didn't get, and then after it didn't work out, I was able to talk with Hans and Danny and kind of talk through it and discussed options, how to move forward, and it was a learning process. What you guys did differently was very exciting to have this little event tonight, but the last house that I bought, it was just working with one gal, and it was somewhat anticlimactic when I actually got the house. Hans has just been extremely responsive, so that was a big difference. So what you guys did better than, say, the other agency that I worked with, you were just much more thorough, setting my expectations, just learning and understanding what I want. Because the last house that I bought, we found one house, there was only one house for sale, and bought it. You handled the process for me. It was very straightforward. I knew what to expect. My expectations were set correctly. That just works for me. That's something I need. Working with selling Silicon Valley, there were lots of ups and downs, but it was just really fun, It's a very tough experience to go through. Hans and Danny just made it as easy as possible. Once Hans got to know what I wanted, he was very sure about locations that I would like or wouldn't like. And because there was a limited amount of houses on the market, we did still go see them. He learned and knew exactly what I wanted. Well, I would definitely recommend selling Silicon Valley to anybody that I know. This process was smooth and seamless, and in this market, it's very, very difficult. And what better company selling Silicon Valley to work with when you're in Silicon Valley?